Welcome to my YouTube nutrition education series. I'm a registered dietitian with over 20 years in nutrition field. Please, this is intended for knowledge and awareness, so you must consult your doctor and your dietitian in case you feel that you need our services. This week we are going to cover health diets that will help you manage many disease states you are suffering from. Also, it's intended for you to start watching what you eat and make health choices so that you can have better health outcomes. We will discuss many health and fat diets. We have so many healthy diets that have different functions. And we also have fat diets. Fat diets are diets that are not really good for you, but you can use it for a short time. Now, this week we're gonna address heart health diets. And the first one we're going to do is DASH diet. Now, DASH diet stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. It's a dietary eating pattern designed to lower your high blood pressure and promote overall health living. It emphasizes different types of food intake, which is basically a balanced diet, which comprises of fresh fruits, vegetables, all grains. All grains include things like you could have brown rice instead of white rice. You could have a sweet potato instead of Irish potatoes. Lean meats like fish, particularly salmon, which is high in omega-3. Lean beef, lean chicken with oat skin, turkey, ham, and all types of meats or protein sources. Low-fat dairy products, which it could be 1 to 2% fat. But I want to encourage, if you have a child, it's important for you to check the consistency of fat content. Also, you want to limit saturated, trans fat, added sugar, and sodium. In United States, the government really has mandated the food processors to limit trans fat. We still find saturated fat, but it should be, it should be that they should be limiting that in your food packaging. We also limit sugar, particularly added sugar, and the recommended sugar intake should not be more than 6 grams. And sodium intake, recommended sodium intake by Institute of Medicine is around 1,500 milligrams to 2,300 milligrams. But if you have high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, it's very important to monitor intake of sodium and limit it to around 1,500 milligrams per day. So that is per day, not per serving. So you probably want to have 500 if you're eating 3 meals, or factor in the snacks. That's why it's important for you to read your labels and know how much sodium you're adding into your food. And you could probably cook most of your food from home. Buy fresh. Normally it has very little sodium, around 50 milligrams. So cooking food is the best choice. DASH diet is based on a scientific research that has shown that certain dietary patterns can help lower your blood pressure, reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke, and other chronic diseases. The diet is designed to be flexible, adaptable to different cultural and personal preferences. It can be followed individually with people of all ages and backgrounds. And you can do DASH diet not necessarily because you have high blood pressure or you have chronic health diseases, but you can do it as a health lifestyle. You can choose to eat DASH diet, limit sodium, particularly if your family is predisposed to have high blood pressure or maybe congestive heart failure or kidney issues. DASH diet recommends daily servings of the following food groups. You need to have between 4 to 5 servings of fruits. So that could be an orange, an apple, a banana, a guava, all types, mango, apples, things like that. So all types of fruits, 4 to 5 servings. And it's important to, think about the intake of fruit intake because it has a lot of potassium, so which is recommended around 4,500 milligrams. So if you eat 4 to 5 servings of fruit, you really almost guarantee that you will get that amount of potassium. 4 to 5 servings of vegetables, and vegetables include cabbage, kale, spinach. Sweet potatoes can serve as a fruit vegetable, but also as a starch. I like collard greens, I like cucumber, I like carrots, all those types of vegetables. It's always advisable to eat color. So if you're choosing greens, you could choose, we have purple cabbage, we have purple collards, purple kale. Those are the things that you want to consider. It's also important to choose 6 to 8 servings of all grains. If you've been taking processed grains, it's advisable to do 3 to 4 whole grains and 3 to 4 refined grains. Why is that important? So that you limit the amount of fiber when you're starting back, because you either get bloated, diarrhea if you take too much fiber before you get used to it. But as you transition, you can take 6 to 8 grams of all grains. It's also recommended you take 2 to 3 servings of low-fat dairy products, because adults above 18, you need around 1,000 milligrams of calcium, and dairy product is the best source of calcium. It's also the best source of vitamin D, phosphorus. So it's very important for you to take 2 to 3. Children need more than that. Teenagers need 3 to 4 servings of dairy products. And even adults, as you get older, you need more, because your bones are getting weaker. So you really want to encourage more intake of dairy. And dairy is not necessarily that you have to take animal-based dairy products. We have plant-based things like soy milk, which is fortified with vitamin D. We have milk here. We have almond milk. I actually like almond milk because it has high calcium content. Make sure that if you take milk alternative or dairy alternatives, that they are fortified with vitamin D. You also want to limit lean meats to 6 or fewer servings, such as fish, poultry, and you could have legumes as a substitute for animal protein. Legumes, beans, lentils, all those have vitamin D. Actually, I have a cup of beans, particularly black or white beans, has 20 grams of protein. So it's equivalent to 3 ounces, which gives you 21 grams. So you see, it's very close. The only thing that when you're taking plant-based proteins, you want to make sure that you take with something that has vitamin C. And the reason you want to do that is because plant-based proteins is what we call low biological value. Absorption is low. So you want to make sure you take with vitamin C, particularly so that you get the benefits of iron absorption. So it's very important to balance it out. And a very good source of a balanced protein would be beans and rice. That makes a complete meal. Or macaroni and cheese. There's nothing wrong with macaroni and cheese. You just want to limit the amount you take. Limit intake of added sugar, saturated fat, and sodium. So I already discussed that sugar, you need at least not more than 6 grams of added sugar per day. And then saturated fat, things like butter, things like lard, things like margarine, you really want to limit them, because those are the things that causes hyperlipidemia, and it's really never broken in your body. So it's important for you to limit that, and also limit sodium intake. Sodium, if you take too much of sodium intake, you order a lot of fluids, and when you order a lot of fluids, it brings a problem with your electrolytes. So we really don't want to do that, particularly if you have high blood pressure or you are predisposed to develop high blood pressure. Limit your sodium intake to around 1,500 milligrams, which is like a half a teaspoon, to 2,300 milligrams. Now, what are the benefits of DASH diet? It can lower your blood pressure. It can reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke. It promotes overall health. It's easy, healthy, and sustainable eating pattern that can be added to a healthy lifestyle. So if you want to lose weight, you can actually practice, or you can adopt a DASH diet. The DASH diet, there's nothing really specific. It's more of a balanced diet, and you just consider making sure that you have a fruit, you have a veggie, you have a whole grain, things like sweet potatoes, brown rice, whole wheat, flat bread. But with all these type of vegetables, you're just cognizant of the things that needs to be consumed. Have dairy. If you have lactose intolerance, you can choose lactose-free milk, or you can have plant-based, like almond. Make sure if you choose plant-based, make sure it is fortified. It is actually easy, it's sustainable, and anybody can adapt to it. It's not restrictive, as it encourages intake of many types of food with portion control in mind. So if you really want to, eat healthy, exercise, you can always adapt a DASH diet, but it was developed particularly to manage hypertension. The other benefits of DASH diet, we will discuss Mediterranean diet, and studies are beginning to show that people who take DASH diet, stroke Mediterranean diet, tend to delay Alzheimer's disease. So there are benefits, and we want to encourage health eating habits and also healthy fats. Healthy fats are fats that don't have saturated fat, like monosaturated fat, and vegetable oil, olive oil, canola oil, all those we encourage that you cook with them. If you have any question or any comment, you can just leave a comment or a question in our YouTube channel, and I should be able to respond to it. Thank you, and have a blessed day.